So is it recording? Well, hello, everyone. This is the Monday Night Rock Your Life team call. Every Monday night, 6 o'clock Pacific time, 9 o'clock Eastern time, we hold this call. Those who don't know me, my name is Chad Zannotti. I'm a physical therapist of 16 years and Isagenix lover of 4 years. And I have to tell you, I'm honored to be hosting this call. Big time honored. So each week we start with celebrations, good stuff, really great things that are happening. So anyone who has had anything awesome occur in the last week, please share. We'd love to hear it.
Hey, Chad, it's Katya.
Katya, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Awesome.
So I'm just super grateful that we all stepped up last week and did the Blitz Zoom, because the time that I was hosting it was really, for me, a great learning experience. And having done it once, no big deal. I can do this. So it's really cool for those. Thanks to those who stepped up and shared and hosted. And I thought it was a great team effort. Loved getting to know everyone who contributed a little bit better. And that's it. Grateful for that.
Yeah, there were a bunch of breakthroughs last week, that's for sure. People stepping up and stepping out of their comfort zone. So that was great. Anyone else? There's got to be good stuff out there, man.
I got one.
Dan, is that Dan? Dan and then Paul. I think.
So we did, Ange forced me to do it, and I'm glad she did. But we signed up for a health fair at the high school, and we were one of 30 vendors, and it was really good. A lot of kids came by, a lot of athletes. We got 54 names. I've already contacted a bunch of them, and we handed out some free prizes that we're going to give to kids and do like 2 half-hour training sessions with them, one with products and one without, just to see the difference. And the kids are super excited for it too, so we'll see where it goes. But I think it's going to be really, I think we'll get at least a few kids and be able to help some kids out. A lot of them are going to college for sports too, which is pretty sweet.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, man, exposures. And I love your Ninja Warrior basement.
Yeah, it's getting there.
Can I use your basement then?
You're so short, it doesn't matter. You can't even touch me.
Our basement's tiny. Thank you, Dan.
Yep.
Mr. Paul.
Mondays at Isagenix are payday.
You love it.
Awesome.
Especially Mr. Paul. You hit, what, 11 cycles.
So nice little email reminder that my account got loaded today. So
Congratulations to Mr. Paul. I don't know why I keep calling you Mr. Paul.
I usually get called Mr. Holland.
Mr. Holland.
Yeah, Mr. Holland's opus.
Anyone else? Mona.
I am grateful for my siblings. Today's National Siblings Day.
Oh,
And
okay.
Tomas, Sophia, and Mario are my siblings. I don't think they're on the call tonight. They're like so super busy. But Tomas introduced me to this wonderful tribe and the amazing Isagenix line. And Sophia and Mario have joined us in using the products. So it's something that's kind of brought us together as siblings. Like we have something consistently to talk about. And I am grateful for them and for the fact that we all came together to do this as a little family.
That is awesome. It's an awesome connection. And I think you all know my sister is rocking with the business, and my brother just started with the 30-day, and he sent me a message. He's like, I think my belly's shrinking. So it's always nice when you got family in it. Thank you, Mona. Thank you, Katya. Forgot to thank you. Anyone else? Good stuff.
I am grateful for that, Chad.
What's that?
For your brother.
My brother?
Yeah. Because I know that was a point of I don't want to say stress because you don't get stressed, but still, that's awesome.
It's yeah. There's a little bit of stress when I'm standing on the sidelines. I'll be honest with you, but thank you, man.
Yeah, siblings are always challenging. My brother finally started using the products, and then he sends me a text message, and he was like, "You're supposed to use 2 scoops?" Oh my goodness. And then my sister-in-law did the same thing. She's like, "How many scoops are you supposed to use? I saw you posted something about 2 scoops." And I'm like, "Yes, 2 scoops." And she's like, "No wonder it was so watery." I'm like, she's like, "Where are the instructions?" I was like, "On the back of the canister." But yes, family is good when they come on board.
Thank you, Anna. Jojo, did you have your hand up? Anyone else? There's got to be good stuff out of everyone on this call, or you wouldn't be on this call right now.
We got some good stuff coming up, so I'm excited about that.
Yes, we do. All right, speak now. We got about 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. So, tiny little bit of housekeeping. The first piece is there's been a delay on the peach mango shake. Stay tuned. It's number 1. Number 2, Super Saturday, May 20th in Boston. We have the Murgatroyds coming to town. We have Dr. Dunsky, Lisa, and Mr. Todd Falcone is coming in from May 20th in Boston. So it's a biggie. It'll be a great event. Make it happen. Get yourselves a seat. Celebration is in August in Vegas. We had a blast last year. Get there because it's not only going to change your business, it'll also change your life. Anyone on this call who's been to a big event, share with whoever hasn't been to a big event and find out how powerful it is. Being around positivity, especially within the company of Isogenics. There's nothing like it. We're going to follow this call with a brief mastermind on the Zoom Blitz that Katya alluded to from last week, because our goal is to keep them going one way or another. We're working off of a script, and we're taking the Holt and Bugs philosophy and just tearing these things up, posting that we're going to be doing one. We do one. We say that we're going to be doing one at this time. Those people who are going to be coming on at that time, you could benefit from their enrollments. So we really want to keep this going. We're going to have a little mastermind after this call. But the basic premise of this call is to introduce Miss Eliza Hale. She and her husband, Jay, started with the products about 9 months ago. They still hold day jobs, as a lot of people on the call do. They have 3 little munchkins. They only started, now this is a big kicker, they only started intentionally treating Isogenics as a business in January of this year, 2017. And they have achieved Crystal Director. So props to them, big claps. And that's big because they know how to cultivate consultants. And that's what we're going to be talking about a lot tonight. Eliza's been gracious enough, and Jay may not be on, to drop some of her wisdom on us with regard to creating consultants. So in advance, Eliza, thank you so much for coming on here and sharing some great wisdom with us. We're looking forward to it. I'm going to mute myself. You take the floor. Spotlight is on you.
Okay. Thanks, Chad. Thanks, Jojo. Thanks, everybody. Wow, there's a lot of faces. So like Chad said, yep, really only been about 4 months now that we've been treating this like a business. And Jojo had asked me to come on just to talk a little bit about what we've done and what we've found that has worked, and maybe it'll work for you guys. So I think I'm gonna I have a couple bullet points, and I want to touch a little bit on each one, and then give enough time for questions. Does that sound good? Just kind of touch on everything first.
Perfect.
Okay, so one of the first things I want to say, and this is probably from day one that I did when I enrolled anybody as an associate, and this wasn't necessarily intentionally to help build a consultant, but this is just, I think, my methodology was that I checked in on people that first week every day, and I gave them a forewarning, and I said, you can ignore me, that's okay, but I need you to know that I'm going to be checking in with you every day, and I need you to know that I'm there, whether or not you need me, good or bad, and you can choose to participate in our page, or you can choose to participate with me, but that I opened the floor up like day one. And then the other thing that I started to do right off the bat that just organically happened was that I just loved on their pages a lot, and I really just kind of loved on whatever they loved on. So that I did from the very beginning. And once people started getting success, I took mental notes, or even just some notes on what products they liked, which proved to be successful when I kind of came on to look at who I had in my tree that was, liking their products, and then somebody that I thought potentially I could help build as a consultant. And one of the things that has been extremely successful for me is not asking them if they're ready to get their products paid for, but turning it back around and actually asking them to help me out. So one of the things that I watched recently was Angela Maresca's 5 Simple Touches, which we can certainly, I have transcribed and we can put up there, and I'll kind of go over part of that for sure. But one of the 5 touches is asking your associate to put up a post on their own personal wall, tagging you in it, and saying thank you for introducing me to these products, or thank you for getting my health on the right track. And in the way that is very vague, but will create some curiosity, even if that person isn't necessarily ready to answer any of those questions that people may ask, but versus me saying, are you ready to start sharing? Are you ready to learn? You share, they share, repeat, because most of these people were not ready for this. I'll tell you right now. But what they were ready to do is help me. And I know it's hard, and it was hard for me to think about it this way, but I had to stop and kind of put it back on me and say, I'm building a business here. I know you love X, Y, and Z products. You look amazing. You're doing so great. Would you be willing to help me by posting on your own wall and tagging me in it? And I will help you from there. And everybody that I asked was willing to do that, even people that were just straight product users. And I will tell you that the people that were greener, the people that were only on product for a shorter amount of time, were even more willing to help me with this, and that much easier to help build to that consultant. So it was, that those people that were under 30 days on program that were like, yes, let's go. And within Angela Maresca's The 5 Simple Touches, all of those 5 touches are happening within the first 30 days. And the touches really are incrementally right as you order, or right as soon as you're getting that enrollment started, and you're just very casually, nothing even speaking to getting your products paid for, just about how you became to share. And then the second touch is at that time when they get that box in the mail, or when you then, that second time, I'm going to minimize you guys and I'll read it to you just real quick. And So that second touch is when they're opening up that box. You're going to go over the program with them and walk them through their auto ship, but also showing them that tree, just to say, you know, here's where you are, and if you ever have friends that are interested, you know, they would be under you or they would be right here. So, and then the third one, which is, she recommends to be at day 5, which is kind of like that walkthrough for their cleanse. So whenever you do that talk, I've always split up the shake trainings and the cleanse trainings just so that people can retain a little bit better. But you know, her third was really, for her, it was day 5, but whenever people decide that they're ready to cleanse, but to really just kind of breathe over how great they're going to feel after that cleanse, and talk about sharing that experience just with 2 friends on how they feel, not necessarily sharing the products. And then the one that I really hone in on, and this is the one that proved to be the most successful, was touch 4, which is when I asked if they were be willing to share on their own personal page and tag me in it. And then from there, there's very specific, I gave them sample posts, which I'm happy to share with you guys. They're very general, they're very generic and very vague. And so I gave people, I think, 2 or 3 sample posts, and then I followed that up with 3 very simple, concise, do not do these. The first one was, you know, don't mention that it's Isogenics on their own wall. And I just said, just to create some curiosity, you don't want people going on Google. And I said, then you need to comment in the comment section that you will private message them to each individual person that actually responded if they were interested. And don't just do it to one, because as soon as you put, I'm going to PM you, everybody else wants you to PM them too. So it's worth it to write it and write it and write it. And then the other thing is that to have them, you know, not answer any questions right away, just say in that private message, I'm kind of new, but I'm going to get you in touch with my friend Eliza and get them on a 3-way chat right away, so that I can show them how I share, but B, so that we can get those questions answered and get them, you know, get those potential prospects up on a product page and get their information as soon as we can. And then the last touch for her is somewhere day 5 and day 21 to just give them big shout outs, you know, finishing up week 3 on the page, and then right before their auto ship, so that you can make recommendations for any of their products, but also then to just kind of say, you know, if there's anybody else that you think that would feel great doing this, you know, we could talk about how you could start to then get some of your products paid for. But for me, really, I think what really was so successful was being able to hone in on asking for help, and that seemed to be very successful. And you know, some of the people that I helped with this, you know, had less than a week. I mean, my neighbors had enrolled, and they were just having a great product experience within that first week. And I just, you know, I said, you know, would you be willing to help me out? They were absolutely willing to help me out. And, you know, since then they went on to enroll a few people. And if I had not read that, I absolutely never would have thought that somebody within their first week was going to be ready that quickly to put something up on their own wall. Because I know for me, I don't think I told I was doing Isogenics for like, I don't know, at least the first month. Because I'm so skeptical. So, you know, there was a couple people that did that curiosity, their friends list, but my friends, well, in addition, in bouncing around on, you know, so either way, it's gonna help. But, you know, I think that was kind of last month or so that I really started. I made a spreadsheet. So anybody that I've enrolled since I started this, that way I'm checking off, okay, we talked about it this day. Okay, we talked about that this day. And that way I don't kind of, forget within those first 2 weeks to make sure that I'm asking them to do this for me because, it naturally in my head, I think, oh, they really should have 30 days before they start sharing. But no, let's try to move that up along and get them when they're starting to feel good and they have that high from coming from such a crappy place to now feeling so great. That's really actually the best opportunity, I think. And like I said, just empowering them, anytime I can love on them. And, I had a couple people that posted some successes and I asked, is it okay if I share a little bit more about your story here and just kind of like pump these people up and so that they can recognize I did tell you that. Oh, I can't believe that I felt that bad. Because some people start to forget. And, if you can remember just little tidbits about those first conversations and throw them back at them. And then it just empowers people more and more to just feel that much better. So I think that's really kind of what I've been doing in addition to, just daily consistent action. I mean, nothing that nobody on this call, I'm sure, has not heard before, but, I plan out my day the night before. I write out my post schedule. So I have little check boxes. I make sure I'm checking those off by the end of the day that I've posted, however, the goal for my day. Right now, my daily goals, I mean, it's all the stuff that we've talked about, I'm sure, on so many levels, but just really sticking to it and if it doesn't get done, I write I didn't get it done. And then I also tend to now go back and if I did do more than I anticipated that day for IPAs or I got on a 3-way, I do go back and write it in. I feel like that it does help for me to see at the end of the week what I've done, especially if it was something that was unplanned. So for instance, the blitzes, right? So the beginning of last week, I wasn't ready to do the blitzes, nor did I think that was going to happen in my life last week. But I think it was great. It was really great experience for me to see how everybody else hosts and to do a couple hosts and to do a couple 30-second stories outside of our small, just close friends. So that was really great. And I think a lot of brainstorming came out of it, even if nothing from a prospect, perspective came out of it. I think what came out of it for us was more just brainstorming. Okay, so if this doesn't work, what will, and just figure it out, right? I mean, it's one of those things, and that's, I think is great because now we know that we're going to do something, and it's not that we're going to do nothing with it. It's that we're going to do something different and we're going to figure it out. And if that doesn't work, we're going to figure that out. So I was excited, and it's hard sometimes for me or it's perceived as hard to go back and forth from my day job to this. But it's a necessary at this point. And, I think Chad had mentioned the other day about why can't we just all quit our jobs? And Chad, I say that a lot. It would be, because then you say, I know everybody on this call feels the same way, because once you see the potential and that light goes off, you're like, oh my God, if I do this 24 hours a day, I'm going to be there right now. And I go through that mental struggle a lot because it's hard to kind of sometimes, pull on those reins when you have to still have that paycheck coming in. So, but I do my best and just keep kind of plugging away with what I can do. So, I don't think I missed out on anything that I wanted to talk about. So I'll end it with that and see if everybody has a question.
Jenny Rose went up.
Yeah, I don't have a question. Eliza shared this with us last week, and I was just kind of blown away by the aha that occurred within me we hear empower them, empower them, empower them, but it didn't click until Eliza laid out this example of how to empower them. And what stood out for me is what I kept hearing in my own head: make them the hero, give them the opportunity to lift you up, which actually psychologically makes it more about them, not about you. And so I just wanted to point that out, that was just huge, huge for me.
That's cool. And, we are all about empowering other people. And I do like, Eliza, how you did turn it around. And it's a synergy that occurs as opposed to it going one way. It's a synergy that, from square one, they're realizing that this is something completely different than any other type of business or relationship that they've formed in the past, other network marketing companies included. So it's pretty special. And I like, creating curiosity, and it sounds like you're really focusing on building deep relationships with all of your customers. And there's not many companies that do that. Really, not many individuals that put a laser focus on that, building a deep relationship so that they know you're there for them, that, you're texting them daily initially. Do you have any questions? Nope, I don't have any questions. I'm all set. Next day, everything going okay? Do you have any questions? Nope, I'm all set. It's a positive energy that's created between you and your customer. And then, from what you've done to this point, you create people who are like, you know what, this is pretty darn cool. The product's great. All right, show me how to get my products for free and show me how to make some money. Jenny's up again.
I wanted to say, too, that hearing it a second time, I was able to capture something else, is that my method, because I'm very type A personality, I like to have things lined up in a row, and I have control issues where I like to control the situation. And I've noticed in my past that I would try to control the outcome for them, meaning try to push them and it come out forcefully, and then I would scare people away. Whereas Eliza's approach is more an invitation, and also, she's giving them options of like, you can ignore me, or you can respond, whatever. I'm still going to be there. I'm still going to be accountable to you. So that was another aha that I just had tonight. So thank you, Eliza.
Sure.
And on that note, Eliza, how many people actually ignore you when you're calling out and just checking in?
Probably like 20 or 30% of them.
Yeah.
Or it'll take them like a week to get back to me,
But the relationship continues to build, correct?
Right. And then sometimes, random like midnight, I'll get like, is there soy in the bars? Like out of nowhere too. But then they just know that they can ask those random questions at any given moment, right? So then that works. One thing I didn't mention, and when I first started to try to create consultants, what I did not work, and I will tell you what I did. I was looking at the people in my tree that I could tell, the people that I had enrolled early on, and I was drawing out for them the opportunity, looking at where they were placement wise and showing them the opportunity. That did not work. No one cared. Even when I told them what the dollar amount would be. So that really, I will tell you, I thought from a analytical standpoint that people would be able to visualize making that money. But that did not work. So just a tip, don't waste your time trying to draw out your tree for people.
Yeah, that's the problem with, because like I'm kind of like you, I'm analytical, and that's why when Chad showed everything to me, it made sense for me right away because I'm an accountant and I look at numbers. But for a lot of people, they can't even imagine themselves making money. You know, they can't even imagine $200 a month or whatever. It's just like, how does that happen? I can't figure it out. It scares me. I don't want to do it.
Yeah, I think going the super easy, natural, hey, would you throw up a post for me? You know, so much more casual, so much more just no pressure was, well, obviously it was more successful. And the sooner the better, honestly, the sooner the better. Not to say that you shouldn't go back to people that have been consistent product users either, but you know, if you've enrolled somebody last week, this is the time to get on them tonight and say, would you be willing to do this for me? And also, I also kind of put it as an urgency, just like we do everything else. I did say, like, you know, not would you think about it? I said, would you post for me today? So that they didn't necessarily have that much time to think about it. And then I was literally hand feeding them sample posts to just put up, you know, and just put in their name.
It makes a lot of sense because you're creating interest in you're really creating activity on their own page right off the bat.
Right.
The thing that struck me was the simplicity of it. Because we go to work to complicate it, no question. And so to just have that little simple, here's five steps, and follow these 5 steps and ask somebody, it was just, it's so simple. It's so simple. So.
Oh yeah, I overcomplicated it. You should have seen all the sticky notes that I made for people, and I'm like, look at all these people. Nobody cared. Yep. Yeah.
Eliza, I wanted to bring up a point you shared with us last week and this is now like a to-do for me, is to reach out not only to the new people who are just getting started, but also people who have been in your tree, even if they're not even actively using anymore, but have had a positive product experience. So that's something that I'm going to be tackling in the near future.
That's right, Jenny. I totally forgot. I mentioned that at the very end of our call last week. I said I had somebody that I knew had a great product experience, and for other reasons, she didn't continue on as an active person, but we had always stayed in touch anyways. And when the time came up, she actually, it was just kind of serendipitous, but she was ready financially, and I asked her to you know, kind of create some curiosity, and so we were able to get her reactivated and to consultant within like 48 hours. So yeah, that was a huge one. But just keep in mind, like, the people that you have that are inactive for other reasons. It may just be, it could have been financial, it could have been personal, but you know that they had a good product experience. They don't even need to be active. They could just say, you know, I did this, and I still want to thank my friend for giving me that opportunity, right? You don't even need them to reactivate if they don't want to. But still, that's still going to draw curiosity on somebody else's page, right? As soon as they tag you. And that's really what you want, because you can only have your friends. But if you then take all your friends' friends and they all see that and you're tagged in that, then they're all going to funnel back up to you. And that's just filling your funnel even that much more.
Mm-hmm. Perfect.
Any other questions or comments?
So you will post up the
Angela Maresca's
the post. I know the video is on the page, or it was on the page. I don't know if anybody put it. I don't remember who posted it up. Somebody did though.
I have like a Word document of the 5 simple touches that I just kind of have.
That's perfect.
And then I also can share with you guys the sample posts that I did. I mean, they're super simple, but
you know what? Just throw it in the files on Rock Your Life. So just create a file.
Can I do that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Yeah, that's easy enough. So if nobody else has any questions, I want to share with you guys one kind of powerful thing that came out of it. And it just happened today, actually. So I have a good friend who we've been lifelong friends, actually. And she has been a product user for a while. And she was one of the ones I drew my tree out for and tried to get her. And she's a busy, busy nurse. Her husband's a physician. And they're super duper duper busy people. And but they love their products. So, and they just kept ordering like 500 BB off of one account, and it was, it was killing me. So, finally, within the last month, I was able to get her to sit down with me for literally 10 or 11 minutes just to enroll her husband and her mom, so that everybody could have their own account, and we could get her to consultant. And for her, it absolutely was not about the money. Absolutely not. That was like the furthest thing from her mind. She just wanted people to order their own stuff. That's really what she wanted. And she texted me today and she said, I just got $75 from Isagenix. Where did that come from? All it was $75. Now, this is somebody that doesn't need the $75. And I said, well, that was for sharing. And, you're going to get more next week. And she goes, how did that even happen? And she's not watched any of the videos I've sent to her, clearly. But that's okay, because I said to her in the beginning, I said, I know of anybody that I know, I want to share this with you, because you of anybody need the time back. And so today I gave her again, I said, well, you're going to start earning 6% on anybody that I've enrolled after you. And she's got a pretty good spot. And she goes, you mean just my mom and on my husband, right? I go, no. I said, anybody that I've enrolled. And she's like, so this could really be like a business. And I just sat back and I said, when you are ready to see the opportunity, I am ready to show you. And I sent her, and if you guys have ever watched Angelique Norris's, it's like a 5-minute video. It's on YouTube. It's her and her husband. He actually kind of tears up in it, with just because I knew that they would resonate with the fact that, the Norrises had great jobs. I mean, it wasn't about the money for them either. And it was more about the time and the financial freedom and to be with their kids. And my friend has 3 little kids and never gets to see them. And her husband certainly doesn't. And I said, I sent her a quick video of myself. I said, here's where I am not right now, but here's where I know I could be. And this is why I wanted to share this with you. So, just remember, those people that don't care about the consultant status because of the money, it doesn't mean that they're not going to appreciate you sharing that with them. I guess is kind of my take home was that it was serendipitous that she did this today. And, whether or not that is fruitful, it doesn't matter for me. I mean, I'm just so happy that what she saw today made her so happy. And, I'm just ecstatic to be able to have that feedback from somebody who absolutely is just a happy product user who shared with 2 people.
That's cool. You never know, and you never want to pass any judgment.
Right.
That's cool. Anyone else? Really great information, Eliza. I think we're all looking forward to seeing the 5 simple touches and put them right into play.
Hey, Eliza.
Yeah.
So let's say I have, 15, 20 people in my tree that I want to go back and reach out to and ask that question. I would obviously want to spread that out a little bit, right? So I don't want to have 5 people a day all of a sudden tag me with a very similar sounding post. But I do want to spread this out a little bit and have something else pop up. I mean, I'm pretty sure I know the answer.
Yeah, I agree.
Throw it out there to 4 or 5.
I think that's wise. So the way that I did it was I took anybody who had just one personally enrolled, so that it was the people that just had that one. So all I needed was just that one other to help them to get to consultant. So I started there. So I would say, if you're going to look at your tree, start with, don't worry about, where, when they started or how much you know them. Look at who you just need to get one more associate or and then prioritize from there down. I would say, yeah, because you're right. You're going to get inundated with three-way calls if you go down your tree right now and ask everybody all at once.
Well, and even it's going to look a little crazy on your Facebook page. It'll look very obvious what you're doing, I think. So if you want to keep it like subtle and that's the way to go.
I don't know how that would. I don't know how it would look. I mean, I don't know how many people actually go to a specific Facebook personal wall anymore either. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I don't.
Can I just respond to that really quick?
Yeah.
I believe that when somebody tags you, it doesn't necessarily have to show up on your wall. And not everybody will see the post from 5 different random people that you may see it, but not everyone else sees it. We could look at, and we did this test where we looked at 5 different Facebook pages of people who constantly are posting in the same places all the same time. None of our feeds were the same. We had very few of the same posts that we saw in our feed. Like, we all think we just show up on everybody's news feed, but we don't. Okay. Very few people see our stuff.
Okay.
Awesome. Eliza, I think you rocked it.
So Lindsay, do you want to just talk to that since you posted up? Good to see you.
Sorry, I was late.
No, you're good.
Hopefully the background noise isn't too bad. So I was actually at Eliza's house when she was doing all that, and I could see the craziness, and I actually don't, I can't do that to myself. And I knew if I did it all at once that I wouldn't be able to invest as much time in each conversation. So I actually asked a bunch of people at once, but only had a few people respond at the same time. So I was able to stagger it. And because a lot of the conversations that I was having were with strangers, it just gave me more time to invest in asking more questions about them, because I didn't have the background on these people. It allowed me to take the time to ask about them instead of just jumping into, here's what I'm doing, here's the products, here's my page. It was more, it's definitely slower, and I'm starting to see it trickle in now a week later. But people, like, I was able to invest like solid time into people, answer questions throughout the week, and then a week later people are coming back and still asking questions. I did have 2 people sign up from those posts, so that was good. And yeah, I followed exactly what Eliza did. She pretty much copy and pasted everything to me, and I did the same thing, just a little bit of a slower pace. But yeah, I felt like it worked really well. It was, as long as everybody is willing to post for you. I did push it. I missed exactly what she said to you guys, but if it's similar to our conversation, Eliza,
Yep.
I just asked for people to do it as a thank you to me. I just said, I'm really close to hitting a personal goal of mine, and it would mean a lot to me if, as a thank you, you would post for me, instead of making it about them. And that seemed to work, because even a couple of people that said, I'm not really interested in posting about the isogenic stuff. I don't want people to know I'm doing that. I didn't even have them post isogenics. It was all like, thank you so much for, like, I slept really great last night was one of the posts. Thank you so much for introducing me to these products. And then another one was, I have so much energy. Thank you so much, Lindsay. Like, it was like very vague, but those actually generated the most action, which is funny.
Mm.
So
thank you. That was a great point. So for somebody who really doesn't have the time to answer 400 messages, then, then also spacing them out would be great. Would be great to do. Thank you.
Thank you, Lindsay.
Thank you for Lindsay for coming on and supporting me.
Mm-hmm.
I actually just got off an enrollment and advanced my mom to consultant, so that's why I was late.
Nice. Congrats.
Thanks. Now I have one more for Crystal Director.
Awesome.
You got it.
Anyone else? Cool. So you'll be posting on Rock Your Life, right, Eliza?
Yeah. So I'll post up the sample post. I'll post up just a transcribed 5 simple touches, and I'll put in the. Are you sure that? I think that the video was up there, right, Jojo?
Somebody posted. I can't remember who it was. Maybe it was Lori. Lori Rizzo might have posted it.
I can search for it and then tag you in it, and it should.
Yeah,
if not,
and I think if you just if we just search Angela, it might just pop up because somebody probably yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And this is something that we can, even if it's not with a new enrollment, this is something we can put in play at any time.
Right.
Just get back to the people who've been using product, they've had a good experience with product, and you say, you know what, do you mind posting this on your page? Right? You can put it in play at any time.
Right. And like Lindsay said too, don't be afraid to say to them, I'm really close to reaching a personal goal. Sometimes when you put that on somebody else, they feel like, oh, I could help you do that. Like Jenny Rose was saying, in giving them that hero persona again, and putting it back on them. I think, I was a little worried about people thinking, oh, I'm doing it, because for the money or whatever, and I didn't want it to sound like that. But when you come across from a appreciative standpoint, it's just all really in the approach. And everybody was really. Most of my enrollments are my friends, so it's not like I'm, so it's almost sometimes harder, I think, to ask somebody that for help.
People love to help other people.
Exactly. Yep. You're right.
And in the process, they're helping themselves.
Yep.
Cool. Well, thank you, Eliza.
Sure, thanks.
And we got a couple of options, and I'll have JoJo chime in on this for sure. We could either have a quick discussion now about what to do about the Blitz Zoom, or we could do like a group, start up a group thread on Facebook so people can throw out some ideas and then just pull from that and put things in play in the next 24 to 48 hours.
I think we have everybody here. Let's see what we can throw out in the next couple of minutes and chat about. Might as well.
All right.
Everybody's up for that.
Yep.
And so the one key thing I think that we learned is that what happens when everybody comes together to create something. So everybody, I just really want to shout everybody out for stepping up, presenting, taking the script, making it your own, giving your 30-second testimonial, being on the support, whatever role you took over that 5 days or 6 days or whatever it was, made a difference. And not only that, but you guys came together to support each other. Doesn't matter what part of the team you were in, none of that made a difference. You guys were just there to back each other up and support each other. And I appreciate that 1,000,000,000%, because that says a lot about who you guys are. And also on top of that, I think that now we see what the bigger picture could be. when everyone really rallies to create something. And to build a global business, we have to be able to do this virtually. There's no question. There's no way that we can have everybody in our living room in any other way but this way. And when everybody gets behind it and we pick some dates and some times, and whether we do it once a week and have a Zoom party, we do it twice a week, so we tailor to the East Coast and then we tailor to the West Coast. We do a Zoom day where we take, I don't care what day it is, and every hour, every 2 hours, we, do a Zoom. We do the same thing over and over, and we just keep inviting people and keep inviting people and invite the people that came to invite people and create momentum and excitement. And the more momentum, the more we put into it, the more excitement we put into it, the more is going to get created. So to just do this 5 days and go, okay, well, we only had a couple of guests on, so, this didn't work, isn't the way we're going to look at this, because what came out of it was everybody getting out of their comfort zone, everybody stepping up and taking a piece and really seeing how different voices need to be had anyway, right? Everybody did the same script and you wouldn't have known that it was the same script because everybody made it their own. It sounded completely different on every single call. And so now I'm going to shut up and let you guys throw out some ideas.
I like the idea of twice a week. I think we should be able to pull this off. I have it once for East Coast and once for West Coast, and create some consistency there. And then maybe, I really like when Tomas suggested to do a blitz before the crystal deadlines. But we can do it more often than that. Maybe every other week or once a month. We do a blitz Saturday or blitz Sunday. I mean, it's going to take us away from our families and everything for the entire day. But that's what we do, right?
Well, for one day. It's not like for 10 days. It's for one day.
Right. But it's for one day. And, if we get enough people engaged and involved, then we don't have to be in every single call either.
But imagine as people are signing on, they not only see all of these squares, but a bunch of squares. Right. They don't know who we all are. They just see people and excitement. And so it's what we're going to bring to it that's going to make the difference. And so we can pick a couple of days. If anybody wants to throw out ideas for days, and a time for East Coast and a time for West Coast. Not that, West Coast wouldn't be able to be on the East Coast time. It's just we're looking at people who are working a typical job. West Coast, it's difficult sometimes maybe to be on it between 4 and 5 o'clock or 4 and 6 o'clock.
A time that's popping in my head is Sunday afternoon, early evening, when everyone's getting prepped for another work week. To introduce something positive into their Sunday afternoon, evening.
I think you might lose a lot of people on a Sunday afternoon, especially if they're involved in trying to spend more time with their families and having a family dinner. But I do like the idea of having it maybe 2 nights a week. And again, having one more for an East Coast time, maybe 7:30, 8 o'clock, and then maybe a later time for those on the West Coast.
Yeah, I mean, I would, like, especially with the summer coming up, people are going to be traveling more. So I feel like those Sundays, Chad, are going to be tougher. Yeah, I don't know. It's just where we're
any time we throw out, there's going to be
I know
goods and not so greats to
I just wouldn't centralize it around like just a Sunday.
No, that was just an example of a time. That's all.
You could play with the times too. You figure
Yeah.
Sunday night, 8 8 o'clock, everybody's eating dinner, they're kind of settling down. You know, I know in the fall and the winter, you know, there's a couple of TV shows on Sunday night that you're looking forward to. You know, so usually 8 o'clock, dinner's done, everybody's settling down.
But, and it doesn't have to be, because we're working off of a script, it doesn't have to be legit scheduled stuff. I mean, we can do these on our own, and we can do these as a group. Correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, we can take that script and we can do a Facebook Live and run with it with 2 or 3 people. Just split up the script with 2 or 3 people and have at it. And then also have the group one that we're talking about right now. That's why I think that script is so powerful, because it's getting so much information, condensed information out there at once. You can use that as a tool whenever you want to.
Agreed.
And
I'd like to piggyback off. Go ahead, Chad. Sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was actually going to piggyback off what you were saying about doing it via Facebook Live. So there's a couple of really positives about doing it off Facebook Live. One of them is going to be all of your friends are going to get a notification that you are live. So they may jump in just because you're live. Second, for some reason, everyone I've invited to this Zoom thing, if they don't get the Zoom thing, that is enough excuse to not come on. Or if they've got to download another app, that's just another excuse. And I love the Zoom platform. I think this is really powerful to see all of these people on the screen. But if this isn't going to be the platform that's going to get the most people to join us, then maybe we do it via Facebook Live and do it less. We won't have necessarily 3 of us be able to share a host, have a product user, and have a business builder. But at least we're getting the message out, which could then in the future get them to this amazing Zoom platform. But I think that we should consider the Facebook Live option.
I'm going to go back into Be Live, and I believe that we can do multiple screens on a Facebook page on Be Live. Or we can do multiple screens on a Facebook Live through Be Live. And I'm piecing it together to figure out if it has to be on device or if we can do computer. There's several different things that we can do. So the initial platform I looked at was not for that, but I believe that Be Live will work. So that would be we would be in a multi-screen platform on a Facebook Live, which would be the best option out there.
That would be like a Zoom on Facebook Live, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Lori, I think, posted something last night saying that Facebook Live is going to be the new – Facebook is switching up the algorithm so that Facebook Lives are going to be more attracted to views and comments than actual posts or pictures or even taped videos.
Right. True.
So Facebook's pushing everyone out of the nest to do a Facebook Live as it is. So we got to start doing them, getting uncomfortable. So we may as well do it with the script.
True.
I love that script.
Jojo, what did I say to you yesterday about my comfort zone?
That you're out of it. That's good.
And I was so far out of it, I couldn't even see it anymore.
Like, that's awesome. That's the perfect place to be.
It is.
Because but now it's almost a comfort zone, right? Now you're like, okay, I'm almost comfortable with that now. So now you got to push yourself harder.
No, I think Facebook Live, I have a feeling it's going to work. I really do. And if it doesn't, we're going to figure it out. But I think we just do it. Let's just do it.
I agree. So, what about, let's take 4 people who really want to do this and throw a hand up, and why don't you guys mastermind days and times, and we'll roll with it and see what happens. So, who wants to be one of the 4?
I'm in.
Katya, Anna.
Chat. Can we just volunteer you? Come on.
Sure.
Mary,
Yes.
one more. You need some male blood in that mix. 25% of the company, so that kind of makes sense, right? 3 women and a guy. Tell our company roles. No guys.
I'm usually the guy in that case.
So does that mean you're saying you're stepping into that?
Sure, why not?
Or was that you, Mitch? Huh?
Hold on.
Uh-oh.
I think you're frozen, Mitch.
Hold on. I gotta restart my phone.
Okay. So I'll just let you guys throw yourselves on a thread and put something together, and you can present it back to the team. And I know Tomas made a thread, so maybe you use the one that's already created and just add in whoever's not on there. So you can put it back out to the team.
Let's do it.
Okay, so who did we have? Like Anna?
Mary.
Paul. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 people?
Who's the fifth one?
I don't know. I have myself, Chad.
My
What?
Mitch, I don't know what's going on. You're frozen again. Type into the chat box. Did Chad opt in? Chad's like holding his breath.
I was pausing long. I had a long pause there.
What was the pause for?
No, I can get on there. I'll help with some scheduling. Paul was on. I was on. Katya, Anna, and Mona.
Okay, Mary.
Mona. Mary too?
Oh no, Mary. Mona too.
What are we volunteering for?
Mona.
To schedule out some Facebook Lives, or what do they call them? Like, what's the term that you're using, JoJo?
We were just doing Zoom blitzes, but we're gonna do just they're like we'll be doing like a Facebook Live launch party.
I'm definitely down to try and help.
Awesome. So I think you guys got enough people to put this together, and you just let me know what you come up with, and we'll step in and work it out. No, while you guys are doing that, I'm gonna work on the platform.
Sweet.
And if anybody has any ideas, suggestions, I know that a bunch of people are already on a thread. So anybody that you want to add into that? I think Tomas made the thread, right?
I don't think I'm on that one at this point, so if I could be added on, please.
Okay. Yep. We'll add Mary and Mitch. So, awesome. And Jenny, I know it's not like this is just for these guys, so everybody's involved. So if anybody from Unleash and Legacy and Limitless, everybody wants to, we're all open to, we want to create team momentum. So, as one.
Eliza, thank you for tonight. Thanks for being on.
Yes,
thank you. Thanks for everybody listening, and I hope it added value somewhere for everybody.
Absolutely. Yes, thank you very much for taking the time to be with us. We appreciate you. All right, guys.
Yeah.
You're up. Batter up. All right. Go rock your life.